Wife of 7 years cheated with her coworker and divorced me. 6 months in, I couldn't be happier. I'm enjoying my new freedom. And I thought maybe this is where I 31M would share my story. Been with my soon-to-be ex-wife 28F for 7 years, married for 5, due to our job specialties. We never planned to have kids, but we did have lots of great plans for the future. And we never disagreed on any future blueprints or directions we wanted to go during the 7 years of our relationship. She started with her new job this February, and she met this co-worker 38M from the job. She came back home after 2 weeks of in-doc training, and I found out she started chatting a lot with this guy. I was never a jealous person, and I know that she has always been surrounded with guys due to our job situation. The majority of workers in our industry are males. I never questioned her loyalty or boundaries because I trusted her, but I realized she started texting with this person a lot, and I brought it up 2 times in March. She kept reassuring me that's the guy I don't have to worry about. He's just her friend. Which happens to be they have lots of common topics to chat about. They're both Christians, so they talked a lot about the Bible. I'm not religious. She said she has no problem stopping talking to this guy again if I don't feel comfortable. But I knew they were going to train again at the end of March. I knew it's impossible, so I didn't stop her. I asked her if she's happy in this marriage, or even before this event. I would constantly check on her to see if there's anything I could improve or just see if she's doing okay in this marriage. I never got any kind of negative feedback. Even up to mid-March, she was still saying I'm the best thing that happened in her life. Fast forward to the end of March. She was leaving to somewhere else for her job training for her new job again for a month. In the first couple days she was in training, everything was fine, and the interactions between us were normal. After the first week, we started fighting a lot. Part of me has to admit it was my fault, because I was going through some of the stuff in my life, and I was being pretty emotional. But I also started feeling like she started becoming distant, and having some strange ideas about the future that didn't even sound like things she would say, and it made me start feeling weird. And we barely argue over anything. I can't even remember when our last really big fight was before April. I felt bad for having to argue with her over things during her training because I know how important it was for her. But mainly we were fighting over. She didn't really keep the boundary between her and the guy, and I knew for the fact that he was pursuing her. Finally, she brought up that she needs some space and time to think about our relationship and future. And she told me she still loves me, but it's not the same anymore. I was in lots of confusion, but I respected her and gave her some time because at the moment I didn't really know what's going on. Shortly after a couple of days, she brought up divorce over FaceTime. My world collapsed, and at that moment I still had no idea what was going on, but I had a gut feeling she might be leaving with the person. Finally, she comes back home in mid-May. I went to the airport picking her up, and when I saw her, I immediately knew that she's not the person I knew. She wouldn't even give me a hug at the airport after a month and a half, not seeing each other. She came home and didn't even unpack her luggage. The first night she came home, she looked into my eyes and straight told me she wants out. She wants divorce, and she doesn't love me anymore. That first night was hard and I was hurt so much. But I was holding on to the hope that maybe I disappointed her during my emotional waves and our arguments. So I was trying to sort things out. The next day suddenly becomes a different person. She claimed that she wants to clean the house for me and let's create a nice memory for the last couple of days before she leaves. I knew it sounded weird and I felt she was lying about lots of stuff and holding back from me. So I went through her phone for the first time in 7 years. I found out before she came back she was already in a relationship and signed the lease with the guy to move in together. At this moment, it was only a month and a half since she left home at the end of March, and she said to the guy, she's willing to give up everything for him to start all over again. I feel really bad till this day to go over her phone, because I have never done such a thing in our relationship, and I felt that I have crossed the line. But at the moment I decided to take screenshots of their conversations and pretended nothing happened just to see how far she would push for all these lies she had to me. The rest of the days I kept asking her questions related to her and this person, and of course I never got any truthful answers. So that night when we were talking, finally I got irritated enough. I started questioning her and got mad. She started blaming me on my issues. And that's why we can never be together. She was lying until the very last moment, even though we were having some heated arguments. She then decided to leave that night, and the first thing after she left, I sent her all the screenshots I had and told her I already knew everything. It was just I was really trying to see how far she would push this thing. She said they only started their relationship after she brought up divorce, so it's not cheating. She also told me she has been wanting out for the longest time, just waiting for the right moment. Because I'm very controlling and abusive. Seeing her leave and knowing that might be the last time I see this person in my life might be one of the hardest things to see in my life. Until the very last moment, I was almost just asking her to be honest with me and give this marriage some respect. She was my greatest wife for 7 years. I don't understand how she could have changed in such a short period of time. And that until this day still leaves me with lots of confusion and questions. I know all the past, and the love she had for me was real. But how could that just disappear like that? Shortly after she moved out, I hired a lawyer and filed for divorce already. She said she doesn't want the bags I bought her, the house, cars, or any spouse support or money. She just wants out. I don't really want to make this decision, but at the same time I can't afford for her to change her mind. So I did that right away and already got the paperwork signed back to me. It has been 2 months since the day she told me she wants to divorce. I'm doing a lot better now, and I'm trying to focus on myself for a new life and to be a better person. I know I'm not perfect, and we didn't have a perfect relationship, but to run away from a marriage, go into a relationship, and now live together with this person in the time span of less than 2 months. I think the things that hurt me the most were all the memories we have, all the things we built together, and the plans we had for the future. Maybe I'll never understand why everything could just change in such a short period of time, because she met a person and everything went down the drain. Update: hey everyone, I was joking about, she's going to get married again soon. I never thought I would be able to give you some minor or dramatic updates right away. I knew she was ring shopping and looking for places to get married when I saw her browsing history when I went through her phone. But at that moment, I didn't really think that much. That's why I didn't even mention it. Today, she reached out to me and asked if a divorce case has been filed and settled. When will she get the divorce certificate? I didn't respond to her text, as I don't think I'm obligated to respond to this kind of subject. But I found that laughable. When she brought up divorce, she said she did lots of research and stuff already. How could she not know that where we live requires 6 months of cooling off period from the date the last person gets served with paperwork, which was June 10th, I believe, and she's already rushing, asking about when she will get a divorce certificate. Does she want to get married again that desperately? I honestly think this entire timeline is just so bizarre and messed up that it has to be true, because no one would be able to make this up. I believe she also has met the guy's family already. I wonder what kind of magic this person has. We literally go from everything that seemed great to her leaving wanting divorce, to them moving in together, to wanting to get married in 3-4 months. She talked about being willing to give up everything she had to pursue a life with him in the text. Something is not right in her head or their head. She had a fling. Okay, sucks. But whatever, if she wanted to leave me. Horrible. But okay, she monkey branched. It hurts. But fine. To jump from marriage to another marriage right away. Bye. Even just having that thought. This is just madness and unstable to the next level. And the guy must have said something or promised something for her to have this thought or plan. But why would a guy do that? Just limerence or a fair fog would make people go this crazy and irrational. At this pace, I do believe the day after our official marriage termination date is the day they're going to get married. Update: 6 months later. Okay? I know it's not exactly 6 months from when I posted, but it has been almost 6 months since the day I thought my world collapsed. Our official marriage termination date is coming up, so I thought I would share some experiences on this journey of recovery. I have been really focused on myself and thriving in my life. Ever since this happened, I have been traveling around the world. Hawaii, Amsterdam, Vietnam, Taiwan, Australia, Norway, Germany, and I still have another trip planned to go to Korea, and maybe one more place that I don't know where yet. The job has been awesome, and I think it is already well established. I don't have to worry about where I go or what I'm doing to do with my career. I have been hitting the gym 5 times a week, eating well, and trying out lots of new recipes while I'm cooking so I can expand my cooking profile. I also reconnected with lots of old friends and made some new friends. I have been looking for myself and trying to build a whole new life without letting my old life and memories trap me in the past. Do I miss her from time to time? It would be a lie if I said I don't. Do I still think about what happened or the things and dreams we had? Yes, I still do. I remember when I was in Oslo, where we always wanted to go. I took a picture, and out of nowhere I thought of her. I didn't feel sad. It was just a weird moment that reminded me of her. First 2 months. From the moment she told me she wanted to divorce to when she came home, I found out she was already in a relationship with this person. It was hell. I'm not gonna lie. But on my birthday in June, I told myself it's the first day of my new life, and I promised myself 1 year from that day, looking back, I'll make myself proud. It has gotten a lot better, and less frequently, I would think about everything in my mind, even when I do. It's not as painful as it was. It took me a while to forgive myself, and I even realized I had forgiven her, or even a fair partner as well. I don't feel hate or anger towards them anymore. I actually wish them the best, and their relationship goes well, if this is what both of them wanted to pursue in their lives. I had lots of hate, wished bad things on them, or just wanted their relationship to blow up. But I realized how unhealthy that was, and it was only holding me back from becoming a better person. At the end of the day, I also don't want that to happen to anyone. I'm not perfect, and there were things I could have done better in that relationship. I learned from that lesson, then moved on. I also realized that the true acceptance of everything is that nothing about her bothers me anymore. I feel somewhat normal now. I still don't know what the future holds or what is going to be my new life goal yet. I know I'm already blessed with this case because I still have my house, cars, and all the savings and investments untouched. So I can easily plan on lots of things that I want to do. I have gone out with couple girls. But as of now, I think keeping myself single for a while is healthier for me, until I meet the right person. And I'm sure I'll know. Someone once told me this might seem to be the worst thing ever to happen in your life at the moment. But it could lead to something that ends up being most wonderful to us, a blessing in disguise, if you will. I was reflecting everything that has happened since she left. Emotionally, I wasn't in a great place. But looking back, everything that has happened ever since was actually all positive and bringing my life in a better direction. I hope this brings all of you some positivity, as we all need it to move on. Thank you for watching the video.